Katana Zero is probably my favorite game, and I don't know if I can do it justice in this video, just how much I like it. But I'm going to try. I'll be covering some minor spoilers, so I heavily recommend that you go and play the game before watching further. But if you still need some convincing to play it, then keep watching. The game has a cold open with the protagonist murdering two security guards, slicing one with his sword, deflecting both back to the other. The first line of dialogue is a phone call from the boss talking about the mission. This first level isn't too long, but at the end of it is the first time the game subverts your expectations. Your mission is to rescue a captured scientist, but when you reach him, this is one of Katana Zero's strongest qualities. It keeps you on your toes. Every time you think you know what's happening, they pull the rug out from under your feet. This, along with the increasing difficulty, makes it so you never get bored while playing. While I'm on the topic, let's talk gameplay. Katana Zero is in a similar vein as games like Hotline Miami and Ape Out. All of the enemies go down easy, but so do you. In the case of Katana Zero, you and all normal enemies die in one hit. Luckily, you're aided with a few tools to help you out. First and foremost, you can slow down time. This, in conjunction with your ability to deflect bullets, makes guns much easier to deal with. While the time slowdown is a useful ability, I found that once I played the game for a while, it was more fun to see how much I could do without using the time dilation. But aside from slowing down time and deflecting bullets, you also have a dodge roll, which you have iframes while it's active. Even with all these tools at your disposal, Katana Zero will still kick your ass, especially in some of the later stages. But because of how the game's set up, you'll always be right back in the action. Much like Hotline Miami, when you die, within seconds, you'll be back alive and killing dudes. Talking about difficulty, I can't not bring up hard mode. So, in the first big update for Katana Zero, they added a few new things. Most notably, you can now pet the cat. Oh, and they also added this new speedrun tab. In the speedrun tab, you can enable and disable a bunch of stuff. Most of it's quality of life improvements for anyone wanting to speedrun the game. But one thing they added was hard mode. Now, if you thought the base game was tough, you've got another thing coming. During my first run through of hard mode, I died over 1,500 times. 1,500! But I barely ever found myself mad at the game. Mostly just mad at myself for making dumb mistakes over and over again. I think the difficulty curve in Katana Zero is really good. The game gets harder with each passing level, and this continues from the end of the normal game into the beginning of hard mode, and just keeps ramping up from there. Not to mention, hard mode doesn't just reuse the same stuff from the base game and add more of it. There are new enemies and beefed up bosses. If you take anything away from this video, aside from just playing the game, it should be don't skip hard mode. It turns Katana Zero from a 4-ish hour game into an 8 or 9 hour one, and all of it is quality. So please, don't skip hard mode. Now, as much as I love the gameplay in Katana Zero, it's not enough for me to say it's my favorite game of all time. It's the fantastic gameplay combined with the way they present the narrative, as well as the themes they cover, that makes this game the masterpiece I think it is. Katana Zero has a fairly dark story and covers themes like drug addiction, government corruption, PTSD, and other equally cheerful topics. Each level is an assassination mission where you have to cut your way through dozens of armed guards to get to the target your psychiatrist assigns you. The game starts with the classic protagonist has amnesia trope, and I get it. Yeah, it's been played out to no end in numerous games before, but bear with me. While the amnesia isn't tackled in some crazy new way, it's used to its fullest extent in this story without feeling overbearing or forced. I mentioned that the way they present the narrative as one of the best parts about this game, and with good reason. During the early sections of this game, the story is conveyed in a fairly cut and dry fashion, but as you get into it, you'll encounter sections that make you question what's happening. What's real? What's a dream? What's a memory? Sanity and morality are never clearly defined, and it leaves you, the player, with just as many questions as answers. Now, I've probably already said too much, but I really can't say any more about the story without massive spoilers. So if you haven't already played the game, either go and play it, or skip to this timestamp. Is everyone gone who should be? Alright, let's start. Basically, the entire plot revolves around a drug called Kronos. Every person you kill is connected to Kronos. By killing these people, you're rewarded with Kronos. The villain is trying to manufacture more Kronos. Kronos is what gives Zero his control over time, and it's essentially what makes him invincible. You see, Zero is what is referred to as a gamma null, one of the government's experiments. Gamma is the highest class of null, trained from birth and regularly given doses of Kronos. Gamma null are the ultimate super soldier. As long as they have Kronos in their veins, they cannot die. But it comes with one downside. If for whatever reason they run out of Kronos, the world around them will stop moving. They can't move a muscle and they're doomed to be stuck in time, frozen in pain, forever. Third parties have attempted to produce Kronos, but currently the government is the only ones with a working version. This is one of the things that shackles Zero to the government and forces him to keep killing for them. But for all the horrible things Zero has done in his past as a soldier, and the present as a dog for the government, he does show small signs of redemption. He isn't completely devoid of morals, and he cares for at least one person in the entire game. A small girl in the same apartment complex as him. They have several very wholesome interactions and form a bond over the course of the game, with the fate of the girl being unclear by the end of it. As it stands, Katana Zero is pretty much chapter 1 of a larger story. The studio behind the game, ASCIIsoft, has put out a statement saying they are far in development of the next chapter, and it'll be released as a free DLC. This also negates the only two issues I had with the game, those being that it was too short and it doesn't have an ending. Needless to say, I'm very excited to see where this game and the studio behind it goes in the future, and I'll probably make a follow-up video once the next chapter comes out. So please, I'm begging you, if you haven't already, give Katana Zero a shot. It's only $15 base price, and it occasionally goes on sale for even cheaper. Hey, thanks for watching my video to the end. I'm going to be trying to move towards a more consistent upload schedule, hopefully around once a week-ish, give or take a few days, because production time, and honestly, I'm just really goddamn lazy, but yeah, if you like this video, maybe check out my other stuff, and maybe even stick around and subscribe. But until next time, have a good one.